Hello there, Bitizens, and welcome to the Killer Bits. My name is Francesca, and this week, as a lot of you guys have been asking how to play Ariane, since her card set basically got obliterated in a nerf, I have an Ariane deck for you, and this is a variant of the one base attack Ariane, and this is, I'm going to call it Potions Ariane. You could call it Papa Mambo Ariane, you know, whatever you want to call it. I actually called this Papa Mambo Ariane because Papa Mambo is a diamond card that's kind of considered a bit of a meme when anyone plays it, just because the potion family is so janky in this game. So this is Papa Mambo. Spend 2 potions from your hand and add 4 health to all rivals' creatures. And if you play this first slot going first and they play 4 creatures, you know, you're adding 16 health across the board. Anyway, so that's Papa Mambo. Now the potions, like I say, they're a bit weird because they don't really do anything kind of consistently. You've got spending potions to gain health, you've got spending potions to deal damage, but then you need potions to spend in order to do this. You know, you've got temporary attack potions, you've got weapon attack potions, you can discard cards and gain random potions, you've got anti-dragon potions, you've got anti-location potions, you've got healing and draw potions. Like, there's a whole kind of mishmash of potions, and putting enough of them in a deck in order to play Papa Mambo is somewhat challenging. Fortunately, Ariane also has Wizard Mind Bomb, which is a draw 3 cards potion, and that actually works quite nicely in the deck because you can then use it for card draw. Similarly, the other potions that we've run here, Unstable Concoction, you can then use potions in your hand to deal damage. Restore Potion is, again, card draw and a little bit of healing, and Beer gives you temporary attack, which can help you kill creatures if you're on 1 base attack. And this is a 1 base attack Ariane because it contains Penguin Sheep, which spend 1 base attack and gain 5 gold, because when you're on 1 base attack, you can then play Wind Surge. If you have 1 base attack, remove 6 health from your rival. So you go down to 1 base attack, you get 5 gold. In terms of gold gain, we also have Ali Morrisane, very standard. We have Alchemy, spend weapon and gain 5 gold. You can play, you know, a Calphite Worker, which gives you 2 gold into Alchemy, and that's pretty good. You can also play a Giant Spider into Alchemy, gain some gold. So that's kind of how you're getting your gold in this deck to allow you to play some of these more costly cards. And then we also have a Crawling Hand in there, gain 3 temporary attack. Now, the reason this is in here is because you can use the Crawling Hand into the Haunted Soul, or you can use the Crawling Hand into a second Penguin Worker should you need more gold. Now, in terms of gold spend, we have 2 Death Lotus Assassins, 5 gold, deal 8 damage to rival. And I mean, we have Restore Potions, so you can spend your gold on that. We have Papa Mambo, you can spend your gold on that. And then we have lots of kind of 1 gold cards that you can kind of whittle away your gold with in order to damage your opponent. And we have some Wind Strikes. Remove 3 health from rival is always nice. So that's kind of the gist of the deck. So I guess let's take it out for a spin. Like I say, this isn't the kind of typical deck I would run in Ranked, but I do think it's viable in Ranked. So we're going to kind of try it out here today and see just how this works out. Whether we do start to climb. I am in gold at the moment. I'm currently gold 30 since the season has reset. I ended last season diamond 16. So let's see what we've got. So really here you're going to mulligan for gold gain, you know. You really, really want that gold gain. And you can see actually we've got a nice amount of gold gain. We've got damage and we've got card draw. So this is actually pretty alright for this aggro deck. I mean, I know a lot of people like to get their damage on the go ASAP, but I think we're just not going to mulligan anything here. And what we will do is we will go Unstable Potion, Ali Morrisane, Wizard Mind Bomb. And I mean, we could play Penguin Sheep for gold gain, but in some ways I feel like it's better to hold off. In fact, actually, we should play that first, because this is Ozan. And Ozan often plays Hope Devourer. And Hope Devourer, what it does is it removes your base attack. So if we can remove base attack for him, then he's going to be unable to benefit from Hope Devourer. It seems like this is an aggro Ozan, though, so potentially does not run Hope Devourer. And that's where you want to think about what will my opponent do. If you can put yourself on 1 base before they do, you know, that wastes a card in their kind of in their hand. Although potentially it would have been maybe safer not to. So we'll hit him. He's going to hit us for 5, so yeah, it is damage. And this deck, it doesn't have a whole lot of healing other than those Restore Potions. So, you know, you're really just going to want to try and kill them as quickly as you can. Unfortunately here, like I said, we're spending time drawing. But there you see we got the Lotus Assassin. So now we can hit him for 8 for 5 gold. If we do find our Mambo, then we can just kind of Mambo number 5 it, I guess. And see how that works out. He has 2 base. So I don't think he's going to be able to do a heap of a lot of damage straight away, which is good. And we're on 1 base, so we can actually, what we'll do here is we'll go Sedrador, Wind Surge, Death Lotus Assassin, I think. So that's 8 damage, 6 damage, and a little bit of grief. And also Unstable Concoction our Restore Potion. And I think that's actually a pretty good turn. I mean, yes, we have no health, but this turn should be a pain in the ass for him. So he played a monster right at the end, and we've just griefed that. It's got, what, 7 health now? I don't know what he's played. Oh, Leela. If your opponent has the most base attack... What? Why on earth would you play Leela? I'm on 1 AP. I guess he thought maybe I would equip a weapon going into the next chapter, but instead what we've actually done is we've just kind of gone on an all-out offensive. And he's taking 12 damage from Leela, which I think that means this is game. Yep, that should be game. So that's the 1 AP Ariane, and you can see once you get your gold online just how much damage you can do in one chapter. We did, what, 12 from the Cedrador, 6, 8, and 5. So that's, holy shit, that's a lot of damage. He had a lot of health, and now it's all gone. And considering he healed at the start of the chapter as well, I feel like you can kind of see the strength of the deck. And don't be afraid to spend your potions. You know, you don't have to hoard those potions. Like, you can definitely feel free to just, you know, spend the potions and see kind of how that works out, you know? There's definitely no harm in using those potions instead of waiting for Papa Mambo. Papa Mambo is just a nice alternative grief win condition. And that's kind of how I look at it. The other thing is Papa Mambo, sometimes they just play supports and then you're kind of shit out of luck. Especially, you know, if you're playing a mirror against this deck. This deck itself doesn't actually run that many monsters, so there aren't that many targets to Papa Mambo. The other thing I'd say about this deck is it does definitely feel stronger going first. Simply because if you can play that Papa Mambo in the first slot, you've got more potential to hit cards than if you play it in the second slot. Sorry, then if you're going second, because you'll only hit 3 slots. Okay, we've got a Linza. So this could be Big Weapon Linza, or this could be Grief Linza. Those are the kind of most common variants of Linza that we see these days. And you can see we've got plenty of gold gain here. So much gold gain that I'm going to probably mulligan a bunch of it, to be honest. And we got a potion. And we got a Haunted Soul. So we can play the Haunted Soul before the Penguin Sheep, and it's actually quite nice. Though if this is Grief Linza, we actually might be better off not doing that. In which case we will mulligan these two. Should we keep beer? No, I don't think we need beer. It's not damage. We don't need it. We got Restore Potion, Death Lotus Assassin, and Wizard Mind Bomb. So what we're going to do here, Penguin Sheep first and foremost, because if this is Grief Linza, I want to stop her grief myself. Into Giant Spider, into Haunted Soul. Is she going to steal my gold? I think the safer strategy is to play Ali Morrisane here, or Wizard Mind Bomb, and then we can play Death Lotus Assassin next chapter. So I think we'll Wizard Mind Bomb, and then we'll go for the damage the next chapter. It should be okay. So she's gaining gold, which means I think that this is probably a Weapon Linza. Grief Linza doesn't typically use a Black Arm Bandit to gain gold, but you know, some people like that. We'll see how this works out. So we didn't need to worry about grief, but it's something that you want to kind of preempt if your opponent's going to do it. Like, because if she puts me on 1 base attack, I can no longer gain 5 gold from the Penguin Sheep, so I may as well, you know, do it myself, basically. And let's see how this works out. So we're on 24 health. We got an Unstable Concoction and a Wind Surge. So that's 11 damage right there. Plus the 8 damage from the Death Lotus Assassin. Our hand is looking pretty goddamn nice at this point in time. Oh, it's 2 Cedradors as well. Right. So what I think I'm going to do here is Cedrador. Cedrador is just good. Wind Surge. Unstable Concoction, Wind Strike. Because this spends 2 gold. I mean, we could play Ali. We could take off actually the 3 health damage at the end and put Ali Morrisane so that we can deal 5 at the. Wait, 4, 3. Yeah, I think then we can play Death Lotus Assassin next chapter and deal 8 and then 3. It's quite good. So let's do that. So fortunately, we did not Cedrador the Imp. I mean, Cedradoring an Imp, she still would have taken what 3 damage, but it's not ideal. I say fortunately, we didn't Cedrador anything. So now she's bar fighting us. She only hit us for 2, and we got hit her for 1, so that's not too bad. And we'll just basically keep up the offensive here. I'm not really sure what this Linza deck is. I might have been matched into, like I say, a weird opponent, in which case there's not really a whole lot we can do here. But she's on 13 health. I mean, she's got 6 gold. Maybe she's just trying to find that big weapon and it hasn't shown up for her, which does sometimes happen. Like, sometimes you just get really bad draw. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. But we have 11 damage in hand at this point. If we fight the Haunted Soul, that's a little bit more, though I don't think we're going to. And actually, I think what we will do is we'll go Death Lotus Assassin, Wind Strike, Calfight Worker. Because this then gives us gold to play Cedrador next chapter, which is a nice play. And it is more damage than she currently has in health. So it's pretty good. Alright, so she's gone for our weapon. Unfortunately, because she's going to go first, she's actually going to heal before we can kill her. Which is frustrating in this situation, simply because, you know, she's now got 6 health. Well, she got 3 health at the end of the chapter, but she's got health now, which we didn't want her to have. And she's also got a lot of gold, which means she can probably start pulverizing us, which you don't really want to see Alinza do, all things told, but we'll see how this goes. We're also taking a bit of damage here. So if she pulverizes us, she'll hit us for 18. We have... She pulverizes us, she'll hit us for 18. We have 19 health. So we would have 1 health left if she played Pulverize. And that card's actually getting nerfed to then remove the weapon so that if someone does play a Pulverize, you aren't then hit by something worse. This is unfortunate in terms of draw. I think we have to go Cedrador, really. I mean, there's no real need to do anything else. We go Cedrador, Beer, Haunted Soul. And this is why we have, you know, like cards like Beer in here, because we can use these to then kill the Haunted Soul, should we put ourselves down to 1 base. And she's played a Revenant Orc. This is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. Did she play anything else? Oh, yes! She can't quite one-shot the dragon, and that is the power of Cedrador right there. And we did end up winning the game. So that was the right call. And Linzas, you need to kill them as quickly as you can. You want to get them down before they can get those weapons online and start to do that damage. If she'd pulverized me, you know, I don't know how that would have ended. Would she have gone? I don't think she would have gone pulverized dragon because the dragon would have killed her. But ultimately, that worked out pretty much okay, and we are definitely climbing ranks. Look at that, 3 wins in a row, puts us on Rising Star, and up we go. And this is a deck that definitely I think is viable in gold. I think the biggest issue with this deck is it's a little bit slower in terms of damage than maybe some of your more classic damage decks. But it does, you know, pack a hell of a lot of damage, and it does run that Papa Mambo, which can be good fun. I mean, if you don't have Papa Mambo, then you don't really want to be running as many potions as this. Although I still quite like Unstable Concoction as a card, even if you weren't running, you know, your Beer and your Restore Potion, you could still Unstable Concoction Wizard Mind Bombs, for example. But if you're not doing that, then what you basically want to do to this deck is just turn it into straight damage. So you want to add cards like Divine Storm, for example. We can find it in here. Remove 6 armor from rival, deal 6 damage to rival. So you're turning basically your gold into more damage. So Divine Storm is quite a good option. Another good option is Earthwave, though you do discard all your cards, so this has to be a finisher. Remove health from rival equal to your hand size, +4, discard all your cards. Alternatively, if you do have Yelps, you can maybe make Yelps work in this deck as gold gain as well. Though he does have 3 base, so you'd have to maybe kill like a Crawling Hand to kill him, or kill him before you play your Penguin Sheeps, for example. But this is definitely a very versatile deck, and there are different ways you can kind of adjust it to make it do what you want. I like the potions aspect. I like kind of using Unstable Concoction in there for damage. I mean, you saw we could have used Beer to play our Haunted Soul, for example, if we weren't using it. Alternatively, we could actually use Beer to gain more gold by going Beer, Penguin, Sheep. So then if you're 1 base, you can still spend that and gain more gold. We could use Wizard Mind Bomb for card draw. You can use Restore Potion for healing and card draw. Like, all of the potions have a secondary use. And I think that's how this works out. And then if you run a Papa Mambo, say, into an AP deck, like a base attack gaining deck, and you hit something like a Jad, suddenly that Jad has 11 health. You hit something like a Dagannoth, suddenly that Dagannoth has, you know, 13 health. At that point, people are more likely to take hits from it, and that's kind of how it does damage. I mean, it's not the best matchup into aggro itself, but it does very well against base attack sustain. So like your hybrid Zan that you're seeing a lot, like AP Venescula that you do sometimes find in ladder. And I mean, you saw there I did beat 2 kind of damage dealing decks, so it's not completely terrible. Anyway, guys, that has been an Ariane deck. I hope you enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time crafting this deck. I went through a lot of kind of iterations before I found this one that I'm happy with. So hopefully you guys are happy with it too. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the deck. And if there's anything in particular you guys want to see in the future, again, let me know that. I am working on a Raptor deck, but it is not, I don't know, it's not quite where I want it to be, and it's kind of frustrating me. It's not even an armor deck. It says it's an armor deck, but it's not an armor deck. So maybe we'll do Raptor next week, or if you prefer Dungeoneering, we've done a Dungeoneering video in the past. You can check that out on the channel. If you want more of that, we can do that. But yeah, that's about it. If you've enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to find us on social media to find out, if a video is going to be late or if we're doing an extra video or whatever, we have a Facebook, facebook.com/thekillerbits, and a Twitter @thekillerbits. And if you want to support us further, there we go, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/thekillerbits. And if you want to catch me playing Chronicle, then you can find me live streaming Mondays to Fridays usually at twitch.tv/Jagex. I've been Francesca, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.